In this video tutorial, we are going to set up Romeo in a file and create a walk cycle for him. Make sure that you set your keyable timeline here from 0, starting at 0 to 20. Also, we're going to be referencing Romeo's file. So what I've done here is I've gone to File, Create Reference, and I've selected the Romeo rig, which I've finished in class, rigging_end, where I created the character set. I've added Romeo at the beginning of the name, so the way I did that was I turned that, used namespaces off, and I've added a string here, Romeo. That way everything comes in with the prefix Romeo on the nodes. And then you can see in the file reference editor that you can always turn this reference off or on, or you can select it and reload it in here. Reference, reload, reference. That way, if you make changes in the original file of your character or whatever you're referencing into your file, you can just simply go to reference, reload, reference, and it will come into your referenced file with the changes and modifications that you've created and maintaining the keyframing that you've created in this file. Alright, so I've also set it up so that you can see the panels as a 2 stacked panel setup. Okay, going in the horizontal direction. This is a common way to set it up for a walk. And the bottom here I have is perspective, and the top panel has the side view. So this side is actually a left side view. Let's just bring back the panel menu. You can find this under predefined bookmarks, left side. Okay, because usually your side is showing you a right view. And I would just make sure to set it up this way because you want to be watching him walk from the left to the right. Alright, so let's get started here. I'm just going to take that off so I have more room. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to do is make sure that Romeo is turned on in the character set. Okay. Also, you can quickly see here that because I've brought in the file as a reference, everything has the name Romeo in front of it, which I specified in the reference settings. And I also have a very organized and named group for the geometry and for the master node and all of the control objects. You should organize your file previous to importing it in here so that you can just deal with 2 groups. Okay. There's more than one way of setting up a rig, like I've said in class. Even if you have a more complex rig, you should be bringing it in with groups so that it's manageable. Okay. Also, I have it set up so that I have 2 layers in my visibility layers. One has the geometry and one has the control objects, and the geometry is set to reference. Okay, so I don't have to select it. Alright, so that was the introduction of setting it up, and now we're ready to start. What we have to do here is we have to pose him in the 3 poses of frame 0, 10, and 20. And we're going to be taking 1 walk cycle, meaning 1 foot is going to go front, and then the other foot is going to go front, and then that first foot is going to go front again, and that's it. Okay, so there's 3 key poses to create, and it starts not with a standing pose, but it starts with a pose where the one foot is in front of the other. So let's get started with this. The left foot manipulator actually starts with the translate Z at 9 units. Okay, and your character, depending on his size, may be different units. So it might look better if it's 15 units if your character is a lot taller and larger than Romeo here. Okay, and the pelvis is going to go forward about 5 units, and right now his arms are going to be just left behind there because Sticky's turned on, and that's okay. And I'm also going to go ahead and go to the roll attribute of my left foot manipulator, set that to -5. Okay, and my roll attribute of my right foot manipulator is going to be at 10. That's the min and max position of the left and right foot. Okay, and make sure that you're in frame 0, and I'm going to press S. Okay, so I'm going to move forward to frame 10. And so what essentially I'm doing here is by pressing S and setting the keyframe, I'm setting a keyframe to all of these attributes under Romeo. Okay, and what that is doing here, is you can see that it's all set to red, is that you're creating a main keyframe that will then block and allow you to do auto keyframe in between the main keyframes, meaning you're clamping down your main poses so that then when you make modifications with the auto keyframe, it will keep those main poses intact. And that's what you want. With animation, you want the least number of keyframes. We've already organized all the keyable necessary attributes in a character set, and now you're just using that set to define what the main poses are. Alright, so I'm going to go to frame 10, and what I'm going to do is math. Each half step, right, thinking that 2 steps is one whole step. Each half step we've defined as 9 units in the Z. Okay, and this pelvis will be moving forward 9 units as well. So we've got to do some math here, and the right foot manipulator is going to move forward 18 units at frame 10. Now the pelvis is going to move forward 5 plus 9, so that's 14. Now you can also write in a Mel math equation here. It's plus equals 9, right? And there you get the pelvis up to 14. Okay, and this foot back there remains at translate Z at 9, except your roll this time goes all the way to the other side from -5 to 10, and the front foot actually goes back to -5 in the roll. Alright, and then I'm going to press another keyframe here, press S. Let me just turn off that auto keyframe so it's not confusing. Okay, so S will set the keyframes for all the attributes, so make sure you press S at frame 10 and at frame 0. And you can see that I don't have all the objects, control objects selected. Doesn't matter because you have the character set turned on. Alright, so I'm going to go to frame 20 and do the same thing here. Okay, I'm going to add actually 18 to my foot in the back, the left foot manipulator. Okay, and I'm going to add 9 to the pelvis. Okay, because the pelvis will go forward half the amount as your leg. Okay, so let's fix the roll to -5 and to +10. All right, press S. Okay, so if you play this, your feet are going to be sliding across. So take your time to really look at the results you are getting in the side view and in perspective view. Okay, that's why you set it up this way. The perspective is great for selecting and looking at it from different sides. And the side view gives you kind of an accurate account of what's happening to both the legs.